Come here. You need to hide, Dante. No matter what happens, you mustn't leave. I need to find Virgil. I promise I'll be back. I know this is hard. You must listen to me. Be a big boy. A man, huh? If I don't return, you must run. By yourself, alone. You must change your name. Forget your past and start a new life. As someone else. A new beginning. Virgil! Where are you, Virgil?
For a second there, I thought you were gonna shish kebab me.
I know how stubborn you can be. I thought it might be the only way to wake you.
What day is it?
The 15th of June.
A month?
No wonder I'm so stiff.
Right, Sunshine. Now put a fire under it. We gotta get going because that annoying pimple Nero is making a beeline for Urison, and if he gets there, he's gonna...
Hey, this is my gig. Leave Nero out of this.
If you could defeat Urison, then I never would have dreamed of fusing that child. But Urison is much stronger than we ever could have imagined.
Oh, it stinks in here.
I know. It smells like hot garbage.
This is far worse than I thought.
There's no crime in turning tail, V. These things might be a little too much for you.
You're right. I'll leave the rest to you.
What? Whoa, my V. All the way down here and turning tail, really?
One must always have an insurance policy.
Who was that guy? Can't believe he just ran.
No one special? Come on. Let's go clean up this garbage.
First come, first serve on the targets, right?
Music to my ears. Hurry up, Dante!
Guess I get to see it with my own eyes. If it really is you.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Devil May Cry 5. Mission 10 is the switching point where we finally get to play as Dante. So prepare for the option paralysis of Dante's whole moveset for the weapons we have. Which is not even exhaustive, we're still at the tip of the iceberg with what he has. 10 missions is absolutely the right time to give you Dante because he is a step up in terms of complexity. And also, it's still early enough in the game that all of the frankly insane shit coming up, you can still curve smoothly into that. He's too complex to give you right away to start the game with. And if you get him at the end, you will not even know where to start with him. Imagine showing endgame Dante to someone who's never played any Devil May Cry before. They would react how I reacted to my very first time with Monster Hunter World.
Guy really do this? Well, there's no accounting for taste.
Alright, so we have Trickster, we have Swordmaster, we have Royal Guard, we have Gunslinger. All mapped to D-pad buttons. So a real quick game of catch-up there. Dante is unique in that he has styles he can switch to on the fly. And also unique in that he switches weapons on the fly with the triggers. Starts with the handguns, Ebony and Ivory, and Coyote A, which is the shotgun. Trish just fucks off. No moveset for her or Lady yet. There's still that rumored Lady and Trish DLC. Also, it's funny that she has Sparta. So, the nice thing about what they've done to Gunslinger, which is all about empowering the guns and giving them unique moves, is that Ebony and Ivory charge automatically in this one. Whereas with Coyote, you still have to hold the button down. But, I love Rainstorm so much. It's the main reason that I have the point in Gunslinger right now. Like, it's one of those things I prioritized. That's real nice that you just have to hold that now for the million stabs to come out at the end of Stinger. And that is our dance.
Muhcarbruh.
Oh, it's all so good! Also, before we move on, let me show a little bit of Balrog off. We'll see more of it in a bit, but just what the gist of this weapon is, because it's an insane weapon to start with. It's the latest in a long tradition of gauntlet weapons for DMC. This is my favorite thing! This is the best! Oh, I love this! I could just do this all day! So when you switch into kick stance, the other thing that you get to do is this, which is ignite it. Oh, and he keeps moving, he keeps doing all these fluid movements. I love Balrog so much. So again, it is a stance weapon. Lock on plus back and Y will switch between the kick and the punch stance. It is a mix between like capoeira and boxing, which yes, all of that. Give it all to me. It gets better because that thing that I was doing where I was bobbing and weaving in punch stance, when you hold the stance button, depending on which stance you're in, you get different things, like that in punch mode, or the way he started breakdancing and ignited the weapon in kick mode. The only disappointing thing about the punch stance is that out of that fucking boxing stance, there's no, like, Ippo Dempsey roll. There are moves out of it, though. And good old real impact. Oh, God, Balrog rocks! Dante is so fun right away. And by the time you get here, you will have some orbs to spend on his stuff. So if you know what you like... Yeah! If you know what you like, you can get your first Dante mission with all of your favorite shit. You can max Swordmaster out real quick and get Dance Macabre. You can also get Real Impact from maxing out. You can get all your Balrog stuff. You get everything that you really want. Your basics, your stingers, your million stabs, Stinger 2. Just that good shit. Chaos is your Royal Guard enemy, because it's just a big, predictable, moving hitbox that comes at you. It's the most predictable enemy to parry, and of course you can still distort a Real Impact. I'm getting so ahead of myself with some of this good shit. Oh, I mistimed that one though. That being said, the Royal Guard, much more lenient in this one. Royal Guard is your parry style. Or if you don't have the timing down, it's just like a block now. instead of taking health damage when you block, you'll lose a little bit of DT gauge. Before, if your timing wasn't perfect to hit the parry, you could still block stuff, you would take a little bit of chip damage. So the window to perfect parry is a lot wider now, and you don't get punished nearly as hard for missing that window. Also, you saw that little wheel of pips by the style gauge. You build that meter up, and the more the more you parry things, and then you can spend it. And the more of that meter you have, the more damage you do when you release it.
Things gonna close if I don't hurry.
And then this is the unique mission gimmick: is these gates which are on timers. And unfortunately, these are timer unfriendly enemies. So I'm really just going to try to bait them into attacking by attacking their scissors a lot. And kind of getting messed up. This is fine. This is a chance to go back over a few details. Oh, and there's... Oh, come on now. Oh, I didn't get the right target. Well, that's very unfortunate. Come on. Come on. I just want you swinging at me. Prop Shredder is generally pretty good against these, because it's just a lot. It's a big multi-hitting move, and it's a big hitbox in front of you. Unfortunately, when they parry you, it takes a second before you can do another swing, which is why that keeps happening to me. I'm not being patient. And that's what these doors do to you. They make you impatient. Because you know you're always on that timer. Oh, I totally neglected to talk about Balrog's ignition. And, like, I talked about the mechanism behind how you ignite it, but not what it does. It sets it on fire, it gives it way more damage. And in the ignition state, which you can almost think of as a third stance for it, or a third mode for it, there are additional moves that you get unlocked only when Balrog is ignited. Also, let's ignite over here, go into kick style. Just hold that down, ignite the flames, and back to punch, so we can show off just how good a distorted real impact is. Yeah. One-shots those easily. I was in the void, the training mode, just testing damage of that out. So real impact, I think it does about 5,000 damage. It more than doubles when you distort it. Distorted real impact is a mechanic that's been around for a while. I think, if I recall correctly, it was a bug at first, and then it was so cool that they just kept it around, but it's when you do that big fucking Shin Shoryuken, called the real impact, and on the hit stop frames, the freeze frame, you go into your devil trigger, that will distort the real impact. It will do way more damage. And it also just feels superb to do. The game feel of it is perfection. And it's nice because it's an otherwise much more nimble fist weapon than usual. The fist weapons tend to be like your heavy stuff. But this one, it being all like really quick flicker jabs and boxing and capoeira style, it's so fluid and nimble. Also, you get that Majima Breaker style, like Yakuza 0 breakdancing fighting shit. Just from having Swordmaster out with it. It's the best, it is the best weapon! And that's only one of about 4 times I'll probably say that. For different weapons. Because they're all the best, man. They all kick so much ass in 5. And then the neutral style button that creates that vortex. By the way, the other reason you have the flicker jabs is not just to have a punch mode version of igniting that. You hit 10 consecutive blows in punch mode to ignite it. Yeah, that's not the only reason you have that. It's also so you can dizzy enemies to set them up for bigger moves. It's my exact jam. And then the true mastery of Dante is just being able and ready to switch to every one of his styles on the fly, every one of his weapons. And it gives you so much to freestyle with. Like, this is the best Dante has ever been, flat out. There's no disputing it. No way at all. Oh, man. It's a really good mission to reintroduce Dante in as well. Because not only have you had, you know, the Royal Guard enemies specifically to get you back into the flow of using that, you'll get that for different enemies too. Like, Swordmaster's always going to be your bread and butter. It's always going to be the thing that puts food on your table. And Trickster is always going to be your great mobility style with all the dashes, the teleports, the air dash, all the stuff that I love. Get you around really fast, especially with these timed gates. But then there are a decent number of flying enemies too, which tend to be, you know, geared really well towards Trickster, again, for the air dashes, but also for Gunslinger. So they get you into the habit of using all 4 of your styles in this mission. And it's pretty damn fantastic. Oh, come on. That is the kick mode for Balrog's version of Dance Macabre. And it just, every single hit missed the Red Impusa. We have a queen. And we're not even gonna mess with her. Of course, the only problem is, if she does grab me before I kill her, I don't have DT to bust out of it, so I just have to watch for that and actually evade it properly. Nope, it's good. Oh man, I exhausted myself getting all hyped for Balrog. And for Dante in general. Like, everything that he has in this game feels good. Feels real good, man. But do you see what I mean by him being way too complex to just give you right off the bat? You've had time to get used to the general mechanics and the way it plays.
They're already here.
The game itself through Nero and V, who have like a lower baseline, a lower floor than Dante. But it's still early enough in the game that we get Dante that there's a lot more room for growth, that there's a lot of more stuff to pick up. There are multiple weapons left. And some other fun stuff. Oh man, I mistimed that again. That's a real bummer. Nope. The other thing the Flicker Jab is really good at is breaking these dudes' shields. Oh, I love that move! And... I think that just gave me enough gauge to real impact to distort the real impact, so I didn't get to. Yeah, my timing is bad. I'm going on the flash, and that's like a split second too early. If I just block, if I hold it, that's fine, because that'll be a block. But if I'm trying to just perfect parry that and not hold it, I need to wait like just a fraction of a second longer. We still have the one Scudo Angelo left. I love Balrog calling everything out. He even calls the countdown out when you're about to lose ignition, because it lasts a limited amount of time. You'll hear him counting down 3, 2, 1. Oh, I hate when you don't quite get the perfect one on them. because they just sink back a little bit and then slowly come at you anyway. It looks real goofy.
And now,
I think this one's stuck. Okay. That's gonna be fun. We'll have to figure out what to do about that. The other way that you counter these dudes is actually not just Royal Guard, you can also shoot the hell out of them. Oh, hello. That worked out pretty well. Dance Macabre. Oh! I think we're gonna get both of them with this Dance Macabre. Ah, I don't think so. I don't think that worked. Forgot I had round trip. That is probably my most forgotten move. Ah, missed him with the second part of Prop Shredder. Nope, not losing Triple S. Hell no. There we go. You get lost style from igniting the flames in kick mode. Oh my god, I love this game! And it's just the right time to add even more variety, too. It's like, Mission 9, you're getting to the point now where you have a really solid grasp on V. Look at this cool, very absurd disco room. You have probably most of Nero's moves by now, and now you get something brand new. Yeah, not quite Devil May Cry 3 Blood Boils. They're pretty similar, though. And these are the enemies I was talking about. They're pretty well suited to either Trickster or Gunslinger. Or ideally, maybe you close the distance with Trickster and then immediately switch to Gunslinger, get your Rainstorm going, get the fireworks going with Coyote, then switch to Swordmaster and start aerial raping, or whatever. You have options. You have so many options to freestyle with. There we go. Get him out of the sky. Eventually, that glowing, burning sack in his stomach will expand like that, and if you don't kill him or move out of the way quickly enough, he blows up on you. Now, nothing that we haven't seen before. I'll avoid that. By the way, we have a move for Balrog that just adds damage to his double jump, kind of like ladies in 4 SE. Also, the other thing that I love about moves like Dance Macabre that just incorporate a lot of elements from your whole moveset. Oh, this is what I was talking about with DTing out of grabs. Just like, I think everyone since TNC 1 you can do that with. The nice thing about multi-hitting moves like Dance Macabre or Million Stabs, the reason I finish so many enemies with those is because they won't kill an enemy until the final hit, even if that enemy has like 1 HP left. So you just build a ton of style on enemies that have no health. And we beat the timed gate there, which means that we can come up to get to the secret mission.
Bet I'll find something here. Call it Hunter's intuition.
If you don't beat the fight in that room quickly enough, you get locked out of this. And this is a nice throwback secret mission because the goal is to kill an enemy with a critical hit, hitting its weak point. And this is a thing that we've been doing all game, and we'll do one more time here. So the Sin Scissors. I'm really bad at timing some of those. I think it's about to do it. Yeah, this one. That one's the easiest one by far because you have such a simple tell. It's when the scissors flash white. You just hit them, deflect the blade, breaks them instantly, then you shoot it in the face for the critical hit. You can do that off of any of its attacks, any of its like 4 or 5 different moves. That's just the easiest one to get. Then again, I could have also used Prop Shredder in multi-hitting hitbox.
And back here again. This place is confusing.
So if that one's closed off, all it has is a bunch of red orbs and a gold orb. And don't really need any of that. Unless it's not worth it compared to a secret mission. Nope. You know what? We're gonna put Swordmaster on and just aerial raid this. Okay, so you know how everyone gets to eat in this game? Like, all the Devil May Cry fans? Everyone gets a seat at the table here. Everyone eats. You know what DMC2's big contribution here is? It's the lore behind Balrog. Which, everything happened off-screen and it's conveyed in one of Nico's notes. But it relates to DMC2 because it involves Lucia and Argosax. You remember the great final boss, the great villain from 2, Argosax? Well, apparently Balrog and Argosax were real tight, and after Burial dies in DMC4, Balrog becomes the new king of the Fire Hell.
Getting close. I can feel it.
Until Dante and Lucia beat that ass so right, and he turns into a devil arm. Oh, and you know what else technically still exists from Devil May Cry 4? Lucifer! That's why Dante throws the rose for his air taunt. And you can use that rose, like Dudley's rose in Third Strike. It bounces enemies into the air. Oh, there's a lot to love about Dante in this one. Also, air taunts are a great addition. I wonder. I probably can't get away with this. Yeah, I couldn't. I was hoping the hitbox for Dance Macabre was so big that it would just catch every single night. Yeah, that parry was a guarantee. It's one of the best things about Prop Shredder. Yeah. Dance Macabre always kicks ass. Oh, come on now. And that's one of the things that makes Dante so different is what you just saw. With Nero, I would just pull myself in with Wire Snatch. With V, your distance to an enemy doesn't really matter all that much. At least, yeah. With Dante, you really have to be taking advantage of things like Trickster, or closing the distance, walking enemies down with Ebony and Ivory firing. That's the first time we saw the complete version of that. I love his Majima bullshit. Come on now. There we go. I didn't want to lose that triple S. I've been maintaining this for a minute. Oh, come on. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Damn. Stinger can be a gap closer, but very often it will push enemies away, unless they're pretty heavy or, you know, there's some other circumstance. So unless they're at a wall, you have to watch how you use it that way. Trickster is your main method of mobility, and not Stinger.
Well, well. O king of stench and filth. I'm impressed. Those are 2 of the most badass women in the world. And I only know one other guy who can defeat them. Jackpot.
Dante.
It's our famed rival, Vernon.
You shall regret your existence.
We're fighting our rival Vernon again. So we've now fought him twice. Once as Nero in the prologue, again as Nero. In fact, we were left with kind of cliffhanger as to what happened after that second encounter. Nero landed a hit and got him off his throne, then got his ship pushed in, until someone, mysterious devil, shows up. By the way, there's no beating him here as Dante. Eventually, he's just gonna win the fight. Alright, that's gonna do it for now. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one.